Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 393 of the Drunk Testers podcast. Your host, as always, I'm Tyler. And joining me with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up, buddy?
Tell you what, man. It's Saturday night. I'm feeling pretty good.
It's a good night to fight.
Yeah, fighting a good fight, doing whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, man, it's been like a ongoing windstorm back inside the old Pacific Northwest. Nothing really too crazy right now. I think it's finally subsided a bit since like around 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Nice.
Which is kind of funny, man. It's like I was at my workplace and I was literally chasing after lampshades because we were going... The thing about my workplace is we store some of our garbage like on our dock because we have somebody go through, take the things to the garbage bin and stuff. Now, man, I was literally chasing after cardboard boxes and freaking lampshades because the damn things start blowing across the parking lot. I'm like, oh no! Oh, on top of that, man, it's cleaning up a little pile of sheet glass because some dude, some customer, decides he's gonna buy this like 6 foot, like almost like a 6 foot, like no, not 6 foot. I want to say like about 4 or 5 foot long sheet glass mirror. Tries to carry it by himself outside, you know, and well, he didn't make it all the way to his vehicle. He broke the damn thing in half. He wasn't hurt, but he lost a good sum of money just buying this dang thing.
Yeah.
And you wonder why it used, like around thrift shops or just used goods in general, why they don't take sheet glass. That's why.
Yeah.
They're so easy to break, dude. But, yeah, that was another little thing I had to, like, go ahead and clean up today. But, other than that, man, it's been sort of like one of those weeks where it's just been an entire week recuperating from last Extra Life. That's basically what it is, man.
Yes. Yeah.
I felt it. I literally have felt it this entire week. But, that's pretty much what I've been doing in the nutshell, man. How about you, Tyler?
I'm doing all right, man. You know, it's been a couple weeks since we recorded. It's been nice, actually. Today's the first time I've had sat down, be able to having a beer since the last time we recorded. I was thinking about that. I was like, I popped open a beer, sat down, getting the show notes ready and stuff. I'm like, took a drink of my Oktoberfest. I was so happy a couple weeks ago. I found 2 cases of Oktoberfest. I haven't been able to find some in a few weeks. I think I talked about that last time. I'm not sure, but so happy. I'm just drinking these, and as I sit down, I'm like, oh man, just tasted right. It's just like, oh man, it's gonna be recording. It's gonna be a good night. You know, we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. You know, drinking a beer. It's Saturday night. You know, usually we do this on Sunday, but I'm gonna be incredibly busy next week, so we had doing this tonight. But been doing good. Same as you. Been feeling it. This after actually, that's why I always took like that. At least take Monday and Tuesday off. I always talk about if you're able to get that 2 days, because I mean, yeah, one day sounds like enough, but Monday, Sunday was lost for me. Just completely lost. I went over. I had dinner with my family on Sunday night, and I was just like a zombie. Forming sentences was hard.
Dude, I'll tell you what. After the initial day that I spent playing, that Sunday, all of a sudden I had to wake up like I kid you not. I had like about maybe 6 or 7 hours of sleep. I go out and about. I go through Costco. I go through this arts crafting store, Michael's, right? And it's like,
yeah,
I'm dead on my feet. I am literally walking by, and I'm just like, oh my god, I do not want to be walking right now.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, I've only had that feeling a handful of times in my life, and that's either been when I'm incredibly sick or if I have just been through a slog. But man,
yeah,
it was not fun. It was not pretty either. And I was like, my mom looking back at me, he's like, what the hell's wrong with you? Come over here. Like,
yeah. It really feels like you're drunk. It does.
Shit.
It's like the best way to put it. Like, yeah, and it's like I had to work late Friday night, so I wasn't able to, because I was gonna just do what you did, but I'll get up at like 1, 2 in the morning and just power through. Wasn't able to, but got up at I was planning on getting up at like 5, but I didn't get off work until like 9 o'clock the night before, so I was like, nah. like my alarm went up at 5. I went to bed at like 11. I was like, nah. And I set my alarm for like another hour, and I woke up at 6 and started like at 6:15.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I got done 6:15, power through, and then I what did I like I slept for like 3 hours, and then Louis is like, I gotta poop. So I'm like, you fucking asshole. So I take him out to go poop, and then just could not get for the life. Like, I don't know what it is. I can sit down anytime. I can sleep 25 fucking straight hours in a row, and then put on football and take a nap. It's just a thing I do. It doesn't matter how much sleep I get. Watch football. I always get like a solid hour power nap in every time I watch NFL. Doesn't matter how good the game is. Taking a nap, not even on purpose, just happens. I sat there and watched football for 5 hours straight on Sunday. Nah, was not happening. Could not get a nap in to save my life. And then I was finally falling asleep about 5:30. My mom calls me. What are you doing? Just watching football, trying to talk. Like, you know, it's like when you're trying to like talk to somebody, like when you know you're drunk, but it's like I gotta act like I'm not drunk.
Yeah.
It's like one of those where it's like I'm just trying to play it cool, but it's not going well. She's like, you all right? She's like, you all right? I'm like, yeah, just a little tired. And then anyways, but she's like, oh cool, we're gonna have you come. You want to come over for dinner? I'm like, what are you guys having? What do you mean of having? Oh, my dad grilled steaks. I'm like, yes, I do. It's about it's like my dad makes great steaks, and but I was just like, and I was, believe me, incredibly excited for these steaks. I just couldn't muster up.
Excited about these steaks. Like,
yeah,
shit, man, a steak.
Like any other time, like fuck yeah, let's do this. But like that point in time, yeah, sounds good. Like it just there was no enthusiasm. I just didn't have it in me to do it. But yeah, I ended up taking like an hour nap before I came over for dinner. I went over there for dinner, and then just luckily my parents only live like 3 minutes away, because it was like I drove over there with Louis, and I was just like, I should not be driving right now. And I was over there just trying to like play it cool. I'm just like, I'm all right. I'm cool. But yeah, it was. I felt it. And then especially like I came home, and I don't even think I made it to 9 o'clock that night. I came home from dinner and took a half a Advil PM and conked out like 8:30. I woke up. I had to be at work at 6. Woke up at 5, and I was just like, this is gonna be a long shitty week. And indeed, I just never. Yeah, you just don't recover from it. Like. Even like, you know, you get those two. It's amazing what having Monday and Tuesday off can do for you.
No shit.
You know, it's like I said, Sunday's a lost day. Sunday just it's lost. Monday is your recovery day. Tuesday is like your day off. It's like, all right, cool. That's my relaxation day. That's my day to get. If you got shit you gotta get done, well, that's Tuesday's basically your Sunday. You know, it's your day to get shit done, kind of day. In Extra Life week, like Saturday, Sunday does not exist. Like your weekend gone. I'm not complaining. I love it. I do it every year. I'll always do it, as long as I'm able to.
Yeah, man. But that weekend really did feel like it went by awfully quick.
Always does. That's why I always say you take Monday, Tuesday off, because that's your weekend right there. But yeah, no, it was great. It was a great time though. We had fun. So I had some laughs. It was a good time. So yeah, it was good. But yeah, other than that, you know, doing fine. It's been a very expensive week, Gables, for me. I was telling you all the shit I got over the week. Well, most of it already paid for, luckily. But all the things I got this week, a lot of money. But yeah, I got myself a PS5. I was able to get one on launch day. I've talked about it before. Able to pre-order it. Barely got off of work on time though. GameStop closed at 8.
Yeah.
I got there like 7:50 fucking 3, and was able to get in and out. Picked up a Sackboy with it and Miles Morales. And I wasn't able to really play. I only played. I played Astro's. Was it Astro's Playroom? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Astro's Playroom.
Is that what it is? Yeah, I played the packing game that's pre-installed on it. But I got everything set up, and I'm like that. I seen the pictures, the comparison shots. I knew it was a big boy. But once you see it with your own 2 eyes, in my case 4 eyes because I have glasses, it's stunning, Gables. How fucking big this he is a chunky boy. It's fucking nuts. I put this thing up. I put my TV up on a fuck was it called? Mounted it a few weeks ago, and I luckily like the measurements of it came out like that week about how big the actual thing was. because when I mounted it, I'm like, all right, it needs to be at least this tall because of the PS5. And thank God I did, because I put it up. I'm like, it's kind of high. I don't know if I like this. I might need to lower it. But I've kept it. I'm like, no, let's just, when the PS5 gets here, then I'll change it. And I get the PS5 set up. I put like 18 inches of fucking. I measured from the TV stand to the bottom of the TV, 18 inches.
Yeah.
Barely fucking clears a goddamn thing. It's yeah. If I would have went an inch shorter, it would have covered up part of my TV, and that would have drove me fucking nuts.
Man.
I got it sitting next to my Switch. I sent you a picture of my TV. It's a mess right now with wires, but yeah, like it's fucking insane. Every time I look at it, I'm just like, Jesus Christ, like really? But
looks like you got a goddamn supercomputer hook up your fucking TV, dude. It was just like massive as shit.
Yeah, like I'm like some incredible fucking hacker about to take over like the Russian government or something like that. Not that I'm gonna do that if you're listening, but I feel like I have the capability. Not that I do, I just feel like it. If government, if you're listening, which you probably are, which whoever got that assignment, I'm sorry, but yeah. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm just every time I look at it, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm like, what the fuck, really? Really, it's nuts. But anyways, I got it. I got it all set up. Transferring over the stuff from the PS4, incredibly easy. Okay. All you gotta do is I have them both hooked up to the Ethernet, so I got everything set, transferred. Like all you gotta do is turn the PS4 on, and then go to PS5 and transfer it over. Actually, to ask you when you set it up, and that for me, I don't have. I actually only like you can pick and choose what you want to transfer over. And literally, I transferred over like 3 games, Madden and a couple of little games, and then my saves. Took 20 minutes to get it all transferred over.
Okay.
But you're able to do other things while you do it, which was nice. And I got did an update, all that. Like I was ready to go in like 45 minutes on all that, and then got all my games installed and stuff like that. But like I said, I got home late, wasn't able to play too much. I played a little bit of the Astros Playroom. It's what's crazy about everything I'm hearing about that game is because remember they had an Astro game that was came packed in, but it was more of just like a pack in kind of we'll show you what the DualShock 4 can do.
Yep.
Kind of stuff, and it just kind of came out, and it just whatever. I don't think I ever played it, and then this game is actually from what I hear, it's a full on, almost kind of like a full on game. It's I heard it's it's a it's a platformer game, a 3D platformer game. I heard it's a full 4 to 6 hour campaign.
It looks like it's a full 4 to 6 hour game.
Yeah, which is nuts. I played the first level, and it just really shows you how the haptic feedback and the what's it called? What's the word? But the rumble and everything in it, it really shows off how that works, and it's stunning. Everything everybody says about the haptic feedback and all that shit is there's just no words to describe it. Everybody always uses you feel the bow when you're pulling back to shoot. Yeah. It's I know that's the generic phrase everybody uses, but it's fucking true, man. It's so true. It's incredible. You feel the resistance, and then so I pulled in Miles Morales, and at one point you're in a subway, and a subway passes you, and you feel the vibration flow through your controller, this as the subway is passing you. Oh. As if the ground and the when a subway goes past you or a train goes past you, you feel the vibration in the ground and the environment around you, and you feel that in the controller, and it's fucking nuts. I played I got Black Ops Cold War, and when you're you hit L2 to zoom in and R2 to shoot, and it's just there's certain points where you're not you're not allowed to zoom in, it's just a cutscene kind of thing. You're just walking and stuff and listen to the guy, and you hit the L2 to see what it does. You actually feel a resistance. Hey, you're not shooting, you're not playing the game right now, you're just watching. There's a resistance to that, and it's when you're shooting in the game, you can actually tell by the vibrations when you hit a guy. It's incredible. This it's just a prettier version of PS4. But the game changer for me is definitely the fucking the DualSense or the DualSense controller. Really, really is, and the haptic feedback. It blows my mind how good it is. Just it's taking some getting used to for sure, and they're really getting used to the controller because it is a decent size bigger than it's a chunky boy, just like the PS5. as of controllers goes. I'm so used to playing with the PS4 controller and even the Xbox One controller, and it's bigger than that. Just getting used to it's just muscle memory getting built into that. It took me a little bit of time to get used to that with the DualShock 4 when I went from being a 360 guy to a PS4 guy. It's incredible what that thing is. That is like the game, like the big game changer for me. That's the selling point. That's something a lot of people, more people, like I remember people talking about it before it came out. It's like, oh, it'd be a cool little thing. But it's like when previews and reviews started coming out about the PS5, that was the thing everybody was talking about. And I'm like, even still, like hearing about it, I'm like, all right, I mean, that's cool. But I'm like, I mean, how big of a deal is it? And like, I finally get a chance to play it. Even like Astro's Playroom, I'm like, all right, maybe this is just like we're going to overdo it, make it seem like it's crazy. And I'm like, I mean, it was pretty cool, like, doing that. Like you feel like the jumps and you feel like the wind. You feel like you can, everything, you feel it. You feel like it really is like, if they found a way to make VR in a controller and make it feel real, like that, they're doing that with this controller.
Right.
And I hope more games. I hope it's the thing that sticks around and more games do it. Like even like one of the first games I did boot up Thursday night. I booted up Madden. And the PS5 update isn't out yet. I think it's December 4th is when the PS5 version and the Xbox version comes out, the Series X version. But I wanted to see it's the one backwards compatible game that I'm going to be playing on a semi-regular basis. I want to see how good, like everybody talks about the loading times are, how good they are. And my God, yes, the loading times are real. Like they're not real anymore. But like the difference in that is spectacular. With like it used to take, by the time like the click the X button to boot up the game, to actually get into the main menu, load up the main menu, get into my franchise, to start a game, would be a full 5-minute easily process. And with this, 2 minutes at most to get into a game.
Damn.
Like it just within 30 seconds I was at the main menu, and then booted up, bam, I press the start button, load up, boom, done, into a game in less than 2 minutes. Like it is incredible how it works. And even like I played practice. Let's play a little bit of practice mode of Madden just because I wanted to see that the haptic feedback there. And it's like they don't have the haptic feedback, but the rumble is still like it really is like it. Like they put the Switch has the HD rumble and the Joy-Cons. It really feels like they put that in the whole controller.
Right.
Even with the games that don't use the haptic feedback, like you can notice it. Like when you get hit. Or things like there's a little bit of vibration. Like they always had it in the other one, in the PS4 and shit like that. But it was just a generic rumble. But this one, like you can actually feel it when like it feels a little more real. Like it feels better. It really is like HD rumble is a dumb thing. It's a dumb phrase, but I mean it makes sense. It's the best way to describe what it is, and it really is like it's incredible the whole thing. But yeah, like I was a little concerned at first because the first time I booted up a game, like the fan was really, really loud, and it still does that. Like when I booted up Call of Duty for the first time, or it was downloading a game, I'm like, shit, it sounds like a fucking PS4 Pro. It's loud, but it really what it is like it's yeah. But like once I got it like downloaded and I booted up, like it revs up when you boot up a game, and then it shuts off after like 10 seconds, and you can barely hear it. Like there's like a little hum. That's it. I'm like, oh, this is so nice. This is my two favorite things about this new console is how quiet it is and it has feedback. Those are the two biggest selling points. If you're someone that has a PS4 Pro and you're so tired of hearing that fan, it's wonderful. But it's been really cool. Like I just got a chance to play for like an hour or so Friday night, and I played a couple hours this morning before I went to work, and then I played for a little bit when I got home before we started doing this. So. I haven't got the most time with it, probably like 4 hours altogether of some game time, but maybe 5. But yeah, it's been cool. And the cool thing is you can go back and look at how much time you spent in each game.
Wow, there you go.
Going all the way back. Yeah, so I mean, some of it's a little off, like off the times. Because like I looked at like, Destiny 2 told me I played like 2 hours of. I'm like, I beat the campaign. I did part of the, I did a shit ton of grinding. I did part of the first DLC pack. I'm like,
wait for
I
Destiny
put way more
2?
than 2 hours in it. Yeah, it told me I put 2 hours into it, which is not true. Like I probably was, that game was probably like 20, 30 hours. Cause I remember playing a shit ton of that on Extra Life a few years ago. And then, but I was looking at some other games. My God, I always said like I wanted, one of the first things I wanted to do when I looked at it was like how much time I put in each Madden, and I went back and like
This ought to be interesting.
yeah. So far this year, I'm already putting 98 hours into Madden 21.
Oh shit!
Yeah, last year I only put 81 hours into in Madden 20. I only put like 80. What was it? What did I say 81 hours? I think is what it was. Then it was like 2019. Madden 19 was no Madden yeah Madden 19. It was like 271.
Wow.
And it was like Madden 18 was like 336, and I'm like Jesus Christ, Tyler. And then like the biggest one was Madden 17. I was like 427 hours of gameplay. And I went back. The rest of them were like, the rest of them were like 190 to 200, the mid 200 hour range.
Oh man, I gotta think, man. Madden 17, was that the one with Tom Brady in the cover, or was that Odell Beckham?
That was Gronk. 19
Okay,
was
Gronk.
Odell.
Okay.
No, wait. 20 was Patrick Mahomes. 19 was. Wow, fuck, what was it? 19 was
I think 19 was like I think it was either Antonio Brown or Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, Antonio Brown was 19. 18 was Brady.
Yeah.
17 was Gronk. 16
Okay.
was Odell.
Okay.
Yeah,
now
so
that
17
makes
with
sense.
Gronk on the cover was the one I played the most. But yeah, like it's I knew I played a lot, but like seeing it is crazy. But it's like it's cool seeing some of the times I put some other games, like Ghost of Tsushima. I put like 36 hours into. Final Fantasy 7 I put like it was like 44 hours into. So yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, but I hope to get a Series X probably sometime next year. Obviously, like just it's hard to get it. Like you can't find them right now. Yeah. It's cool actually. I went to GameStop today to pick up. I got the Game and Watch thing, and I was just talking to people. I'm like, I was just asking them if they had because I wanted to get the headset, but it's just I know there's some places you can get them shipped, but I was there. I thought I'd ask, and I'm like, it's like no, we're sold out right now. It's like we're sold out. You know, all the dual senses, everything, pretty much all the extra stuff. I was like, but it's funny. I was the only customer in there. He's like, we actually got a PS5 in the back right now. I'm like, really? How you guys already got another shipment in? It's like no, one of the customers just had to cancel their pre-order. I'm like, oh wow, which sucked. I mean, because you only put $100 down to get the pre-order one, but I'm like, that fucking sucks. Like you got it, and yeah. So he's like, are you guys gonna tell anybody you have? He's like, he's like, we don't really know what to do right now about it. We're waiting for a response back from corporate. He's like, because do we tell someone? Because like if we say we have one, we're gonna have 50 people show up. So I'm like, I get that. It's a tough thing. Like, do you just it's like the next person that asked, do you tell them, or like, hey, like, do you have the money because we got one? But I don't know. Anyways, so it's been a pretty incredible couple days.
Damn, dude. So they actually had an extra PS5, and they freaking like the dude just canceled his pre-order. Damn.
Yeah, I guess he just said he didn't have the money for it, so he couldn't get it.
Oh man.
Which sucks. That sucks. Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, because like there's a lot of people out there that do have the money for it that can't get one. It's just like you got it, and you just I mean it's a tough. They're expensive anyways. It's a tough year. So I've heard of a few other people that had to they've had to cancel their PS5 or their Series X pre-orders and stuff too. But I do before we get into everything else, Gables, want to talk about what we've been playing.
Okay.
So would you like to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
All right. So I've already kind of touched upon what I've been playing, but I'll go into more details. One game I've been playing though, I played a bunch of, and obviously shit has gotten in the way now since. But it was supposed to come out on November 10th. It's supposed to launch with the Series X and everything like that, but it's on Game Pass. You can play it on the Xbox One. But it came out Monday actually instead of Tuesday. It came out Monday morning. Is Gears Tactics?
Okay.
Yeah. So it is the XCOM version of Gears. And I've always thought I love the XCOM gameplay. I love playing the game. I hate everything outside of the game itself, like all the micromanaging shit like that. I don't like it. I don't want to do that. Like I love like SteamWorld Heist, one of the best games on the 3DS, one of the best indie games this generation. I love obviously Mario plus Rabbids. Adore that game. And that game is so fucking good. It's easily one of my 3 or 4 favorite Switch games, probably higher. And I love Gears. I've talked about Gears 5 was my game of the year last year. I've always spoken highly of the Gears games. I even talk about how I even one of the few people that speak positively of Gears of War Judgment. I like that game.
Okay.
I know he plays Baird. It's not. It's obvious. It's the worst one of the 6 mainline games, but it's still good. It's fun. It's more Gears. It just doesn't have the main guy. It doesn't have Marcus Phoenix in it. So this one takes place 10 years before Gears of War 1. You play as I can't remember his first name, but his last name is Diaz. He's actually the dad of Kate, who is the main protagonist in 5, who's also one of the main people in 4 as well. Okay. She's one of your side characters, but you play as her in 5. And the story is, it's whatever. It's Gears, but it's like it's not as good as 4 and 5. I think 3, 4, and 5 were just they actually started progressing the characters in the story really well, but it's just you have there's like this bad guy, and he's the one that creates the more bad guy. He makes the bad guys even crazier. So you go kill him. You gotta stop him. He's basically the mad scientist of the group, or of the main bad guys. And so it's just it's XCOM. It's take turns. You move characters around. You gotta be smart about your shots. You gotta be smart about where you line people up. You got where to split them up. There's like there's a sniper class. There's a shotgun class. Assault rifle class. There's a tank. There's a couple. There's I think how many classes, but there's like in this one, I don't know how it's been on PC since like April, I want to say, but in this one on the Xbox version, and like they did an free update for the PC version, you get to have Jack join your crew, who is actually like a robot. He joins you. He's in 4 and 5,
right?
And he helps you with stuff, and he has like special things you can do, like where like enemies can see him and they can shoot him, but he can't hide behind any objects. He can't attack, but he has like different abilities he can use. Like he can cloak, so that means enemies can't see him, which I always do at the end of the turn. And then like he has like he can, if there's people so close to a certain amount of feet of him, he can make it so your accuracy and your shots are more powerful, or he can heal you if he gets close enough, or revive you and stuff like he does. Or he can find chests throughout the map for you as well. And then like also unlocks there's like a special I just forgot his name. What's the football player? Oh, I just spaced his name. Coltrane. Thank you. I don't know why I lost that, but he's actually like a special character that like part of like I think he's like the special edition kind of character. If you were to buy the special edition one, he's in it. But he joins you. And then like you have a few other people. So like in your main group, you have your main guys you can use, but also you have like players you find throughout the game. Like they're like kidnapped, and you can rescue them. And there's missions you can do where you can rescue characters. They're like side things to do, or sometimes the main mission, and they could join you, but they can only be around for so many missions unless you recruit them into your main group. Each of them have like special skills or special abilities, or they have special equipment they have on their weapons. And you can only carry so many people in your main group, and they add them on. So like I've only kept one of them, and I've had her join my main group, and she actually has a shotgun. So she's been a blast to have around, and they all level up. They all have individual skill trees that they can use. But I mean, if you are someone that likes like an XCOM style game, like it's a more serious version of Mario plus Rabbids. Mario plus Rabbids is just insane fun, and but like if you like XCOM but you don't want to do the other stuff of XCOM, like this game is actually really really good. Like when I first heard about it, I was I was hoping, I'm like, okay, cool. I love like I said, I love Gears. I love XCOM. Like I mean, like best case scenario, this game is like a 7. Like reviews coming out, and it's like an 8s and 9s kind of shit. Like I'm so it's actually like a really good game. I played there's 3 acts. I beat Act 1, and like at the end you find a boss. So I beat Act 1, having a great time with it. I really 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 like it. I want to get more into it, but it's taking a back burner right now. But yeah, really 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 good game. If it's on Game Pass, so if you have a PC, or if you have an Xbox One or Xbox Series S or X, whatever, it's on there. If you have one of those consoles, I don't know why you don't have Game Pass, but yeah, this game is really 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 good. I highly recommend people check it out. A couple other games I played. I've already talked about it. I when I bought my PS5, I got Spider-Man Miles Morales, Cold War, and Sackboy. I have not got a chance to play Sackboy yet. That's something I want to jump into. I'm kind of in that paralysis analysis kind of thing where it's like, when you have too many games you want to play and you just kind of like stuck there for about 20 minutes trying to decide what you want to play, or you just jump around from each one. I'm kind of there right now where I'm like jumping around between games a little bit. But like I need to like stick with one and pick it out. But because I know I was saying about doing Cold War because I know it's probably gonna be the shortest of the bunch and knock it out. But it's like Miles Morales is the one I want to play the most, but it's gonna be the longest of those three I bought. I played about a little over an hour of Cold War, just the campaign. I've talked about all the time. Love Call of Duty campaigns for the most part. Like
Yes.
even the ones that aren't great, I still enjoy them. Played the first like 3 or 4 missions of it, and I'm really enjoying it. Like even has Mason and Frank Woods are back in this game. It takes place I think like so far like 1986, and it's like there's this what was his name? Like there's the main bad guy. He's like but it takes place in the Cold War and the height of, like not the height of that, but like bad times still when we weren't getting along very well, us and Russia, and you're basically like this like underground like secret group that like you do some illegal shit, and Reagan's president. He's like, he's just like, all right, like you guys do shit, but like we gotta be able, we gotta make it so we can deny that if shit goes sideways, like we didn't know anything about this kind of stuff. And like you're trying to stop this main bad guy. And he's like, he's got a big secret plan. No one knows who it is. We gotta find the guy and kill him. Blah blah blah. But like the characters in the story for a Call of Duty game, this is all in the context of it's a Call of Duty game, are actually really, really good. I'm enjoying the characters, enjoying the dialogue. There's actually like in between times that you're in the safe house and you can go along and like they add some like RPG mechanics to it where you can talk to people and you can pick like dialogue to say to people, or you can pick conversations and learn more about these characters you're working with and like what you're doing. And like one of the first missions you do is like you gotta go and you gotta find this guy who has information about this terrorist you need to find, and like you go, but you actually pick a dialogue tree of what you want to say or do to him, because I guess there's like multiple endings you can do. So like, I'm holding him over the ledge on a rooftop, and it's like you can like you ask him questions, and at any point in time you can throw him off the roof, and then at the end you can like, and it's like, but the more like you ask him, the more information he gives you, which can be helpful to you you get to find clues to help you unlock other objectives, and at any point in time, like I said, you can throw him off the roof, and then at the end, you can decide to release him, just take him into custody, or throw him off the rooftop if you want to. And then like it leads to like the mission that we saw in the last PS5 event, where like you were on the airstrip and you had the RC car. That's the second mission, and you gotta stop the terrorists. And then I played the next mission I played was you actually like go back like they're asking you like, all right, something crazy happened here, back in Vietnam. We gotta go back and like figure out like. Let's trace our memory to figure out if there's any clues we can remember about finding this guy, because that's the first time we've heard of him was back at this event. And you go back to Vietnam and you do this whole thing. But like, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. There's like they actually have like side missions you can do too, and then like you can do them at any point in time. But there's objectives you gotta do, like you gotta find clues and you gotta like crack codexes and stuff like that. And like if you don't do the mission right, or you don't have the codex is cracked or blah blah blah, like you can actually fail the missions because you don't have enough information. So you gotta like actually like you gotta do the main missions or do other shit, or go through the evidence, or go through like clippings you'd find. Like they're always like the files and shit you find like in the menus of games you can read if you want to. Like you gotta go through that like to find information to crack the shit, stuff like that, which is pretty crazy. But I'm enjoying it so far. It's definitely it's a lot deeper than I thought, and like it really feels like this is like the true Black Ops 2. Like Black Ops 3 was garbage, had nothing to do with Black Ops. Black Ops 2 was okay, but it wasn't great. And Black Ops 4 didn't have a campaign, but really enjoying that. And then the other game I played, Spider-Man Miles Morales. It's basically the movie Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
The video game, which is exactly what I wanted. This is I love that movie so much. I actually watched it like a month ago. Again, I've seen it like 4 times now. It was actually my ex's nephew's like favorite movie, so I watched it with him a few times. I love that movie so much, and like the music in it is phenomenal. And it's just like starts off and you gotta like fight, and it's in all the publicity stuff. Like the first mission you do in the game is like you have to stop. You're taking Rhino to like the main jail he's in. He's in this giant box and he breaks out of it, and you gotta stop him. And then after you stop him, you're perched on on top of a building, and then like the music kicks in, and it's actually a song from Spider-Verse, and I got chills. I'm just like, yes, we're doing it. It was like we're just making the video game version of that, which is perfect. And it's like even has the Spider-Verse costume in it, and you can actually do like the comic effects where like when you punch somebody, it does like the little has the words pop up like an old Batman comic or like the original TV show.
Nice.
And you can actually do the effect because like the movie's in like a weird I can't remember what's called, but there's like a motion and a graphics to it and an animation style to it, and you can actually put the effect in if you want to, and it runs in that effect, which is really cool. I did it for a little bit, but I ended up changing it. But this game so far is really good. Like it's if you like Spider-Man the game itself, 2018, you're gonna. It's just more of that. It's a sequel to that. If you like the gameplay, it's more of that. It's phenomenal. But what's deeper about it is that actually like the story in Spider-Man is really really good. It's like for for most open world games don't have great stories, and this one does. The characters are great, and the characters are adding in this one. You deal with like Miles's mom is running for mayor, and then they move to Harlem. And then he has his friend who's basically like his tech geek friend that helps him, and then you're dealing with Spider-Man. Him and Mary Jane went on vacation to Europe, so it's like he's basically like for like 2 weeks he's in charge, and like all the shit's going down. So I've only played the first, like I said, I think I only played like 2 or 3 hours of it. Just did a couple side missions, done the first few story missions, and then I'm about to jump into the mission that we saw the first time we saw the gameplay on the bridge, with the bomb going off. Like that's the part I'm about to go into. But yeah, it's incredible. I every time I play it, and the music it's just I feel like I'm just playing that game or playing that movie, which is like I said, all I wanted. So been a really good week for gaming. Just haven't had a lot of time to game, unfortunately, and I just got too much shit to play. So it's first world problems kind of shit. But yeah, it's been a really good week for me for gaming wise. What about you, Cables?
Well, let's see. This gaming week has really been more or less like a catch up of things previously. Honestly, because we went through Extra Life, I did have a chance to play my rate of games. I started off ceremoniously like I have the last couple of years, where I started with a Castlevania game. So I went entirely through not 1, but 3 Castlevania games in a row. That was an experience and a half. As a matter of fact, I think Tyler joined me like around 6-something in the morning, my time.
Yep.
And he was there talking with me alongside one of our other friends, Nerves, while I was finishing up playing Bloodlines and stuff. But let me just go ahead and paint you guys a scene right here. So I fall asleep around 7 o'clock Friday. That Friday. I go through and I try to get as much sleep as I possibly could. I went through and I maybe slept, I want to say 5.5, 6 hours, because I couldn't get really to sleep until like maybe an hour later after I went to bed. So I wake up 6 minutes, I think 4 to 6 minutes before midnight. I figured, you know what, I'm getting up. And so I get up, turn off my alarm, turn off my PS4. I go through and I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to start my day? What am I going to start off with here? And so through a process of elimination, I'm going to start off with a Castlevania game. So I started off with Super Castlevania 4. Great classic game. I've played through that game a couple of times. This is the first time I've played through the entirety of that game in one sitting. That, in my honest opinion, even though I used save states, and quite honestly, that's that's honestly more or less what people are going to be doing nowadays, because not a lot of people have patience to play an old school game like Super Castlevania 4 and take the time to get good at it. They just want to go through, use their save points or any type of advantage to get through the game as quickly as possible.
This isn't Demon's Souls. We're not getting good. We're just trying to survive.
Of course, that option's totally possible for anybody. But I'll tell you what, man. It's like I played through that game. The first couple of First couple of levels are fine. I go all the way up to around stage 4, and all of a sudden, oh man, the deaths started to rake up. I get one death at the place where I normally die at, man. Where's this stage where I'm right after stage 3, and I go into stage 4, and all of a sudden it cuts to this block where I have to. It's like this panel before you face off against the Hydra boss. So I'm going through, and these mermen are cycling through in the bottom when you have these crates falling from above. And I keep getting hit by the freaking mermen with their water spouts and stuff like that, their water spit or whatever. They shoot the fucking water across, and all of a sudden I have a big old knockback, and I fall down in a pit. I'm like, God damn it, man, not there. But I recovered from that. Stages 5 and 6, I did suffer a myriad of deaths. It was unavoidable from some instances where I'd be taking a lot of damage. I either would be dying on the bosses themselves. And it was kind of hilarious, man. As I get up to, I think it was the Ghost Dancer boss, which basically what it is, this boss, right, that is, it's basically a ghost couple, just dancing around, the stage, and they are going through and shooting projectiles, like knives or whatever the type of crap that is. And so here I am with my freaking, I think it was either my boomerang or my freaking, holy water. I'm going through with these guys. And what's kind of hilarious is I learned the names of, I think one of the two. And apparently the girl is named Paula Abdul.
Huh.
I'm thinking to myself, what the... Well, this is back around 91, so of course Paula Abdul was pretty popular back then.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I think she was like a backup dancer and for the... No, I think she was like a cheerleader, I think, for the LA Lakers back then. And I think she was on In Living Color. No, I think it was something else, actually.
She was a backup dancer in the Sega Genesis game Moonwalker.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway. Well, anyway, I go through the entirety of Super Castlevania 4. The ones where I died the most was the stages leading up to the boss gauntlet towards the end of the game. And for those that have experienced that game, they know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that last couple of stages where you have to do precision platforming right past where you face off against the mummy boss, right? Where it's basically the boss stage where you have a giant clock tower, right? And usually these clock tower type of levels is where the Grim Reaper would generally spawn or appear. He does that in multiple Castlevania games. In this one, no, they saved the Grim Reaper for the last portion of this boss gauntlet. What you face on top of these moving hands, right? They're not moving. But you're basically on top of a clock tower you're on one side, one hand of the clock, and then you have the boss on the other side of the hand of the clock. It's a fucking mummy. And so here I am, I'm fighting a mummy on top of this clock, the absurdity is just going wild. I died to this boss, I kid you not, 3 to 5 times, because he keeps spawning, he keeps unwrapping, spawning to the opposite portion of the level, and I'm trying to hit him, and I get knocked off. I keep getting knocked off by this son of a gun. Finally, after about the 5th attempt, I get this guy. Now I go towards the boss gauntlet, where I've died to the first boss over and over, because you have to have a frame-perfect style of hit, go to the opposite side of him, and somehow jump out of the way as he tries to do a freaking a dash attack, right? So you basically have Death's minions, Slugra, Gaibon. Gaibon has 2 stages, pretty much. Then you have Death himself, which honestly, the Death battle isn't bad. There's a lot of sickles. It's not as obnoxious like it is in the original Castlevania. But, let's see. Then you have Dracula. Dracula has 2 forms. It's his typical teleporting across the stage, firing fireballs, then transporting back to the opposite side. It isn't until you get him about half damage, half his life left, where he starts into his supposed final form, where what does he do? Well, he transports some more, but the difference is he has these 4 beams or something that shoot across up and down and stuff on the stage, and so you have to try to avoid that. And the thing about it is, throughout that whole play session with these Castlevania games, I'd make it a point of effort where I would have just a sliver of health, and I have to fight this entire boss battle with a sliver of health. And so I'm dying repeatedly, right? And I'm loading back my save thing because I don't want to lose my sub weapon. I don't want to lose the upgrades to the sub weapons that I had. Which at this point it was the I want to say it was the cross. Yeah, I think it was the cross. I did that. I beat Super Castlevania 4. Honestly, it took me a lot less time to beat the original Castlevania. I did not go with the Holy Water sub weapon, which totally breaks the game when you're fighting certain bosses. It actually can lock bosses in place, especially for Death and for Dracula. Oh, especially Dracula in his second form. I decided to go with the cross because why not? Something different. I think I only died like maybe a handful of times. I want to say about maybe 10 times in all, as opposed to around maybe around the 15 or 20 mark or so for Super Castlevania 4. Oh boy. Let's see. The death battle I had to face multiple times. As I was stating previously, the sickles, the amount of sickles this dude spawns inside this one boss battle is just atrocious. I have to literally keep on throwing the freaking boomerang on top of just maybe whipping a couple of these damn sickles that are coming up and down because I kept getting hit like either in the foot or right in the back of the head or like whatever. Finally get the Dracula. I was able to time something in his second form. Every time like the second form of Dracula tries to inch closer, he has that special moment or something where he does a high jump and you can go underneath him without being hit and die. I finally got that perfected after about a good solid maybe 10 minutes of fighting that boss. But most of that game was spent on those two boss battles. And I think I beat that game in roughly, I think it was like, 45 minutes to an hour?
Yeah, remember, I think it was really fast. Remember you telling me.
Man. Oh, yeah, man. But, dude, it was fucking crazy. It was like... yeah, it was definitely like one of those moments, and all of a sudden you go into... I went into, like, Castlevania Bloodlines, right? And holy shit, man. It's like, I enjoy playing this game, but once I started talking with you, it started to talk with nerves and all this other shit. I was just dying repeatedly. I finally got towards the end of it, did all that stuff. Boy. And then came the Resident Evil 6.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah, so we've been talking about forever, hyping it up that we're going to play through Assassin's Creed 6. Or Assassin's Creed 6, Jesus Christ. I got too many games on mine. Resident Evil 6. I mean, we were talking about forever about doing it. And we were like talking about like going into it. I'm like, what should we do first? Like we need to save Leon because Leon's going to be the good one. We don't want to play the good one right away. You know, it's like, well, if we just get the bad one out of the way. Let's just play Chris. Because I remember I was talking about, I'm like, Leon's campaign, if it was just a game, is like a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
And then you play Jacob's. His is like a 6 out of 10. And then Chris's is like a straight up 4, 5 out. Is that about fair to you? 4 or 5 out of 10? Is that about right? Like that's being modest. A 5. It's a 4 out of 10. And like let's just get the bad one out of the way. And I looked up I didn't look at I didn't watch the playthrough, but I looked up the time on like YouTube of like someone playing through Chris's campaign. I'm like, oh, okay, it's like 4.5 hours. Perfect. All right, cool. And I looked at a few of them. That's what everybody was saying. I'm like, all right, cool. That's fine. We could probably knock this all out. You know, and it'd take a half a day, a little more to knock these out. Oh no. It took well over 4.5 hours. I think it took us about 6 hours to finish that campaign. And I remember you and I were playing it, and the biggest issue we had was the fucking how shitty the online was, of just every twice a mission you would drop out.
Yeah. Yeah,
and it was so fucking frustrating of him. Like, you know, we playing through, and all of a sudden Gables gets kicked from my game, and then we join again, gets kicked from the game. It's just probably it was 8 or 9 times that Gables got kicked out of the game.
Oh yeah,
and to the point like at the very halfway through the very last mission, he got kicked from the game, and we just said fuck it, let's just finish the fucking campaign. Like, screw it. And I think you end up beating about 2 or 3 minutes for me. But I remember, like, so there's 5 chapters, and in my head I thought there was only 4. No, there was 6 chapters. Was there 6? 6 chapters, and I thought there was only 4 for some reason. And we were like, after 3, I'm like, oh god, we're almost done. And then we beat chapter 4, and I'm like, that doesn't seem like a very good ending. And I'm like, oh fuck, there's more to this goddamn thing. And it was somewhere between around, I want to say chapter 4, where like the first 3 chapters we're playing it, we're like, all right, it's not good, but it's okay enough, and you know we're having a good time, bullshit with each other, blah blah. Like that's always, playing with friends is always more fun than playing by yourself, even if it's even a bad game or a mediocre game. It's just being with your friends is fun, obviously. And like we're getting through this. We're having an okay time playing this game.
Yeah.
And then we got to the fucking car chase scene. And that's the part where it fucking broke me. Completely broke me. Where I went from, yeah, we're playing a shitty game, but I'm hanging out with my buddy, I'm having a good time, to like, I am mad. Like, or like I went from like, I'm not having fun anymore. This is just bad. Like it was like what 20-30 minute long fucking scene. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Of just us driving. So the first half was me driving and Gables shooting, and that's boring as fucking goddamn shit.
Well, yeah, no shit.
Just driving, and I don't think Gables understood how boring it was. And even just the shooting part was boring because it's stupid.
Yeah.
And then it switched to where I was shooting and he was driving. He's like, oh, this is bad. This is not fun. I'm like, I know. And it was just like, and there's huge chunks where there's just nothing happening. And then there's just like, and then like it's just shooting the enemy. It's just so stupid. And yeah, we were playing easy and all that, but it was so bad. And I mean, we were playing on easy, but it's like, no, what Woodley was starting, what the first bad part was when we got to the part on the dock and we had to jump from boat to boat. And you had to like click the button really fast to like jump. And it was like so much fucking like, QTE, quick time event shit. And I kept jumping onto this boat and I would die. I'd fall through I couldn't figure out what the fuck I was doing wrong. Like there's an enemy right there. And like I died like 3 times. And I couldn't figure out, like the first time I stopped, tried to fight him real fast and then run away, and I died. I'm like, okay, did I not run? Was I not going fast enough because people are shooting at me? Right. And then the second time I'm like, all right, maybe I just need to stop and kill him, and shit. I stopped, tried to shoot him. I didn't even do anything, and I fell off the dock and I died. Like nothing. I was just shooting the guy. Nothing happened. I just fell off the dock and died. Like, okay, maybe I just gotta run through it. Third time, just try to charge right past him. Died. I'm like, what am I doing wrong here? And then every time we die, you got to replay the whole section again. And that was the most, because it's like 2 minutes of us slogging through this section to get to this 5-second part. And then finally the 4th attempt, I don't know what I did differently. I did like a combination of all the 3 of run past him, kind of fight him, and try to kill him. And I just did a combination of all that, got past him, and we ended up getting to that section. And then it led right into the driving section, which then led right into like this. We got to the fucking the part with the right before the plane. We're on a boat. Or no. We got to the plane, and that was bad. Where I think, did you fly and I was shooting?
I think so. I think like I was flying the thing and you were shooting that helicopter.
Yeah, and then I got out, and then I had then you had to shoot and cover me while I set up these bombs.
Yeah.
That the flying was bad. The driving was bad. Like you said it really well, where it's like it just tried to do everything, and it did nothing well.
Very true.
It's like you summed it up, where it's just like this. It's just a game that wants to be. It just solved. It looked at the tides of gaming. It's like, oh, look, Call of Duty. Ooh, look at Gears of War. Let's just do that, and it just tried to be that. But also, we're Resident Evil. We got to be Resident Evil, and it tried to just be everything, and it lost its identity and became this. It's just like there was so many like games that came and went or 2 generations ago now, I guess at this point, that were just Call of Duty and Gears of War clones that just came out and no one fucking played them, or very few people played them, and we just don't remember them, you know.
Right.
Because they were just, they're just bad. This game, if it wasn't for Resident Evil 6, that'd be one of them. If this was something else entirely, if it was just called something else entirely, we would never heard of this game.
Very much true.
Yeah, it was just, I went from at somewhere around the jet part because I thought we were at the end. Then at that point I looked up a thing to see how much time we had left, and I saw we had another hour and a half.
Oh.
And I went from like I'm not having fun anymore, but we're close to the end. So like, I am angry, I am mad, and it was just me bitching for like an hour of just like this fucking sucks. And then we got to the last section, we get to the flying, and then like there's that whole the final boss for some reason is like a 45 fucking minute fight.
Wow.
Yeah,
it was.
that last that we could not figure out for life was how to kill him, and we finally figured it out, and it was just so dumb. Like, how would we know how to do this? And then at one point, around that point is when we broke up, and our game disconnected, and for a guy joined, some random dude joined my game, and was terrible. I don't know.
No.
This guy died 5 fucking times in this fight, and every time he died, you gotta start the whole fucking thing over again. And I finally figured out what I needed to do, and to kill this guy, and he kept fucking dying. And I'm like, we finally make it through. I'm like, thank God. I'm like, we beat him twice already, and we thought we were done. I'm like, okay, the first time obviously not done. There's gonna be a second time. All right, cool. We beat the big baddie, and then like the third time, he's a small little tiny guy. Like, he's not small, but he's a tenth of the size he was in the first 2 forms. And that's the third fight. And like, okay, thank God. Like, you even said, like, I think I beat the game. 45 minutes later, we still haven't beaten the game yet because we're in this fight. And then we have to like, you have to like run, and like you have to like run through the section. Like, there's a whole chase section.
Yep.
And you gotta like fight these enemies and break down these doors in a certain amount of time. And my guy, the guy playing with me, just couldn't fathom the idea of that.
Oh my God.
And just kept fucking dying. And it's just, I'm like, I am so close to the end. And I remember you told me you beat that, you got to that section, that was the end of the game. And I'm like, I'm so close to freedom from this fucking game. And I just couldn't get there. And I finally fucking got there. And we were like talking about, do we dare do it, play another one? And I'm like, no, we don't, Gables. And I think you were like, you asked the question, but I think it was one of those things where it was like, I'm going to ask the question, but I hope he doesn't say yes. And that's right. It was
just after that moment, Tyler, and how long we took with going through that. I told you, it's like, you know what? I'm done with this game. Mm-hmm. It's not worth it. And let me tell you something even further. After Extra Life finished up, and after we got done with that moment, I tried playing through that exact same campaign once again, as early back as Monday. And I went through, and I did everything as quickly as I could, because that first chapter of Chris's campaign and stuff, I tried to see how much I could actually get done and do this and do that. I did on the easy setting, nothing like anything revolutionary. I even did that whole freaking New Game Plus thing where it incorporates a lot of the weapons and everything else to that stuff. It still took me fucking 40 minutes to finish that one chapter. It was still fucking, like, ridiculous. And I was doing everything correctly in that regards. It was then, in of itself, where I started learning a little bit of intricacies about why I didn't like this game. One, the restriction upon the ammo in regards to how much ammo in its entirety that you can go through and carry. Meaning you have to waste ammo out of specific weapons first before you can get ammo for the one item that you need. Another was how you could not adjust the sensitivity of what you were doing and aiming. So that entire time that you and I were playing, I was struggling to aim and shoot at things because it was so fucking slow. And on top of that, the menu system, it's in a circle. It's like in a circle. And I was having a hard time going through and navigating this menu because routinely what you could do, it's like a bar. It's like a drop-down bar, you know, for like any other third-person action games or anything of the sort. Even some will let you go into the menu and, you know, pause the game, select your item, and then go from there. Not with this game. It's in a circular pattern, and you have to go and try to go through this basic ass sort of menu, and you're still confused of whether or not what in the hell you're going to go through and freaking turn on and off. That was very cumbersome. And then on top of that, you have the same type of animations when you have to try to go through and execute like Avo or something like that, where Chris will go into his animation or something, well, he'll just slowly go through and maybe curb stomp something and then go back again. But what really kind of like did that thing for me, it's like at that end of that first chapter, everything felt bloated. Everything in that regard felt so goddamn bloated, because even after I did everything in that game, and even after we had finished playing, I checked my trophy thing, right? Because I noticed that during the last thing, I didn't unlock anything for that last chapter that I completed. I come to find out that for Chapter 3 and Chapter 5 of Chris's campaign, the trophy never unlocked for either of those. And I was wondering
that's right.
why. And that's because I was still playing in the game that I dropped away from. Meaning, technically, I could not get these trophies through the playthrough that I did because I end up dropping from your game. And I finished them off still. I didn't quit out and restart the entire chapter over again. That's what killed it for me. I'm like, you know what? This game isn't worth it. It's struggling against me in order to try to play it. So, no. I deleted it so fast off the PS4 after that Monday. Because I'm thinking, you know what? This isn't even worth it. Just tossed it.
Yeah.
But other than that, though, the Extra Life day did pick up after, because we did play a little bit of Burnout, like Paradise Remastered. You, Nerves, and I were racing around doing whatever. You were creating the checkpoints. Nerves was going through doing his thing and stuff, but subconsciously it was kind of hilarious that I kept winning races, even regardless of not having played the game like over a year and a half.
Yeah. That was a good time though, and I got to like, it let me create. Like, the only thing that sucked though was because it wouldn't let me pick anything besides races.
Yeah.
So, but it was kind of fun where it let me like create the races itself, like where the checkpoints are, where the start is, where the finish is. So I just make like stupid fucking, like I have like one race that was like 30 seconds, a couple others were like really really long. But it was fun. It was still fun though. I had a blast, and it's like Gables is definitely really really good at that game. He was just that for a good chunk of the game. He was just fucking with us, like toying with us, like making us taking us down, and then driving backwards and flipping us off.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, and then we went through... Let's see. I think you and Nervous were playing a little bit of, like, Dead Nation stuff. But
Yep.
I decided to play a little bit of my Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight game. Which, hey, that game's pretty fun. And even when I was, like, maybe 18 to 20 hours inside of this damn session of mine, I freaking kept on getting perfects. I actually worked it out where I got a couple perfects on some of the tracks in the hardest difficulty, which that proved to me then and there that Jesus Christ, doesn't matter how much freaking time that I spent, like, I was so focused upon getting this stuff done even after like 20 hours. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, man, am I really that used to doing that shit? That's what I learned first and foremost. But I ended up closing out my Extra Life, playing an hour and a half of Ghost of Tsushima. And I was going through, completing side missions, exploring the landscape stuff. And I felt so relieved by playing that and doing like Fox Den searches and creating haikus. And there was actually this one part where I freaking go and kick the shit out of like a group of Mongol villages and stuff like that were like these villages that were taken over by like these Mongol soldiers, and I executed like about 15 of them. Just went through. I'm like, you know what? Come at me. And all of a sudden, I just have a group of them just following me outside the village. They kept trying to run back into the perimeter and stuff, but I kept just taking them out one thing at a time. I'm like, I'm not even gonna hide it, Okay, you want this? Boom, water stance. Boom, stone stance. Boom, here's a parry and stuff into like a freaking execution right here. Started off with like holding off like with a standoff, and all of a sudden I just go through and just execute this one dude with one slash. I'm like, oh my god, this feels awesome.
Nice.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
yeah. That's a perfect. That's like the. I always thought about those games are the perfect games to play for Extra Life, especially if you just want to knock out some side shit. Perfect.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, that was Extra Life for me. I raised my goal. Totally happy about it. No regrets.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It was a good game. It was a good day though. Like I said, I started. We were trying to play find a game we could all play together, and then we're like, oh, let's play. It's like Nerve was like, let's play a fun top down shooter game. I'm like, all right, cool. We're trying to figure out one that we all had in common, and we're trying to remember like what's the game? Like there was like this zombie game that was like an early PS Plus game, like early in generation. What the fuck was it? We finally figured out Dead Nation, and then went to go boot it up, and it was only 2 player. And you jumped in like Overwatch, a couple other games. So Nerves I ended up playing through. We played for like a good 5-6 hours, and ended up like we spent a shit ton of time trying to play. It's hard. It's really really hard. Like each level took a long time and a lot of dying, and we got to we were playing and we looked and we're only halfway through this fucking game after 5.5 hours. We are getting our asses kicked. I remember there was multiple sections where we were stuck at for 30-40 minutes. Like the levels, if you just flew through them, probably 20 minutes long. But it was taking us 45 minutes to an hour to beat each level. And then we finally just got to the point where it's like, we're just like, when you play a game for, it's like anything. You do something for so long, you actively just get worse at it after a certain amount of time, or you get frustrated to the point where it's like, you're not being smart, you're rushing in, stuff like that. And it's like, that's what we were doing. So we're like, all right, we just need to stop playing this. So we just stopped playing it. But we had a good time. It was fun. It was very frustrating, but it's one of those games where if I wasn't playing with Nerves or playing with somebody, I would have turned it off a while ago because I was ready to turn the game off after level 3.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
I'm getting mad. It's so especially one section in level 3 where it's like that was the last section of that level, and it's just like we were just getting our asses kicked, and finally, and he was way better than me. Like I kept dying in it. And finally, I figured out a good enough strategy with because you get money, you can upgrade your weapons and buy new weapons, stuff like that. Finally figured out this is nowhere for me, and finally after him carrying us for so long, I actually got us through that section, which was cool. Yeah, we eventually just got to a point where it's we are just we're not even we at least we're making headway in these and getting a little better. And it's at this point we played 30 minutes and we're getting worse. I was we just need to turn this off. And then we end up playing Burnout, which is fun, playing that for an hour or so. And then I start off my Extra Life like I do every year, playing a game of Madden. Starting off, that's always a good way to kind of ease my way into it. Played that. Then we played the Resident Evil 6 like we talked about. Dead Nation. And then after that, we played Burnout. And we got, at that point, it was the middle of the night. And then it was 2-something. I ended up just playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelists. I popped that on.
Okay.
And I ended up basically just going through the entire Yu-Gi-Oh! Campaign again. And I actually I went through most of it, and I did a good chunk of it. You can do you can play reverse duel and just playing the card game in that, doing reverse and regular. And I probably beat 70% of the game doing that. And it was at that point it was 4-something in the morning. And you were gone. It was just Nerves and I. We weren't really talking much.
Yeah.
It was just, but at that point, it's just usually how it is when it's especially when it's just all Extra Life people in the group, and we're all been up for 20+ hours. There's not a lot of talking. You're just trying to survive. You're trying to conserve energy. Every now and again, you do a little a safety check to make sure no one's passed out on you. And I stayed in the party chat and ended up just popping in Mario Galaxy and playing that, knocked that up. I was doing very bad. It's just my motor skills were gone at that point. But I knocked out a few more stars in that. I ended up the last hour or so of Extra Life doing that. But I gotta say honestly, it was. I would say the following this past week been really rough. Just I'm happy that tomorrow I finally get a day off, sit down and chill and watch football, play some PS5.
Yeah.
And but it's this whole week is I just feel I've been playing catch up all week. I'm hoping tomorrow I can finally catch up and even last night I didn't even make it like Friday night. Like I was watching the Iowa game and I was just like, I'm falling asleep. And it was a very good game and Iowa was winning by a lot.
Yeah.
I was like, I passed the fuck out and finally slept for like, I slept for like 10 hours last night. And then before I went to work today, and I got up a little bit early, had a couple hours to go to my part-time job. And yeah, so that was, that was good. I really, really needed that because it's been a long week, a lot of hours on top of that. And then just, actually I kicked my ass. So, but I will say, but for like Extra Life itself, gotta say it sucked. We didn't have that ringer. We didn't have a group. This is the first time we didn't get a group of people together to play. You usually we always talk about like we have a bunch of people join us, and this year we didn't have that this year. But it was fun to just the three of us together for pretty much most of the day, and then but like the end of that night, I definitely was tired and I was struggling, but it was definitely like it was a lot easier this year than it's been in past years for me to stay awake.
Right.
I don't know what it was. I don't know why. I don't know why exactly, but I was not. I just was not like those. Usually that lasts like 4 or 5 hours. Like it's just takes every bit of energy I have not to shut my eyes. And this year, like I said, exhausted, tired as fuck. Nothing more than take a nap. But I wasn't really fighting the sleep like I was. So that was nice. So that made it a little bit easier. But it was a blast. I had a lot of fun this year with doing it. I ended up making my goal. I got $1,000. So I get my shiny gold medal here. It's probably in January. Add that to my collection. This is my third one. But I'm really happy with that. Like I was, donations were a little slow this year for me. Like I had a couple, I had a couple here and there earlier in the last month or so, and then just on that day, like it's just all my friends and family came out of the woodwork on that. Even like there's like a guy from I went to high school with. I haven't talked to since I went to high school with, who's a Facebook friend. Donated to me, so that was awesome.
Nice.
So that was cool. I really liked that. So it was good. It was a good year, and this year so far I don't know if they're gonna have any more updates or a final count yet, but the last time I looked a couple days ago, they were over $13 million and had broken the old record. They're well over the old record, so that's awesome. Even in right now they need the money more than ever, but a lot of people need the money now more than ever too.
No shit.
For themselves. So really cool to see that happened, of them being able to not only because I was worried. I'm like, how well is it going to do this year? I'm like, I figured the floor was $8 million, but I figured that the ceiling wouldn't get anywhere near the record this year, and to see that it not only surpassed record, but it's going well past it now. We're like over a 1.5 million over the old record. Makes me incredibly happy. So, that's really, really awesome. Really appreciate everybody that did Extra Life, spread the word, talked about it at all, participated in. Really cool thing. I love doing it every year. It was really cool. Like Troy, who was our co-host for a cup of coffee there a few years back. I was $30 away from my goal. And he Sunday night, when I was sleeping, he actually donated the last $30 I needed to get to 1,000.
Awesome.
So that was that was a nice, really, really nice way to wake up in the morning to start my week off. Like a little extra boost he needed, It's a little shot of espresso they needed. Won't lie, brought a tear to my eye when I saw it hit that goal. So really, really, I had a really, really, really great year this year doing that. So thank you, Gables, for playing Resident Evil 6 with me. I'm sorry. We'll never do it again.
We're never going to do that again, that's for sure. But I know, just thinking about it this way, we started it off where I lost a bet to you, and I had to play Resident Evil 6, and yet you adamantly was like, oh no, I will play this game with you. And we experienced that entire first campaign of that damn game. And we're like, you know what? Fuck it. Like... friends don't let friends play Resident Evil 6 by themselves. But, it's like I'll make you play Pitter Pot by yourself. Like I'm not doing that with you. But I was like, I'll play Resident Evil 6 with them. And I'll say this for me. I feel like I got the monkey off my back because technically I have now beaten all 3 campaigns.
If you include the 360 version, I beat the Jake and Leon, and now on PS4 I beat in Chris's campaign. So I could say I mean there's a fourth campaign with was it Mia? Not Mia.
Ada.
What's the Ada? I don't know why I always call her Mia, but yeah, there's a fourth campaign with her. But no, I'm not doing all that shit. Fuck that shit. That doesn't count. It's like a bonus campaign. I don't count that. So yeah, fuck that. Hey guys, this is Tyler. So just let you know that we went really long on this episode here. You know, being gone 2 weeks, new consoles, extra life, regular news and stuff like that. So we're gonna cut it off here, and then we'll be back in a couple of days with the second half of us talking about all the cool Mass Effect news, AEW stuff, and some cool and crazy Switch and October MPD numbers. So see you guys in a couple of days. Thanks. Bye.